EAGLES, Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365. It's officially a Football Friday with a game this weekend for the Philadelphia Eagles. We are 11 practices deep. We had the recap on that last night. Johnny Mac, how you doing on Football Friday here this morning?
Yeah, it's almost a bunch of games last night. We're here. We're almost here. Actual football on the field, actual live football. Every year I think about that this time. We talked about it a little bit last night. It's like the new era of football since 2011. Vic talked about it earlier this week. Just brought it up out of the blue, sort of one of my tangents. He brought it up out of the blue. They practice without ever playing football, legitimate football. And then you just go out to the game and you play football. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I tend to, there's nothing you can do about it. But when you frame it that way, it is bizarre.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
But that's where we are as a society. We do a lot of stupid shit. we do a lot of stupid shit. They're like, well, you got to protect, which I get the safety thing. And I've always said, if you want to have the conversation, it's so dangerous, ban football. I have more respect for that argument than, well, you got to play it safe. You got to play, and then let them out and go run around like lunatics crashing into each other. That seems worse.
Yeah, right.
You don't prepare yourself for it. But anyway, there you go. Tangent number one on a Football Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm with you. And a lot of it, John, you can't legislate. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw the video last night. I think the last play of the game, I saw it on social media. Some coach got taken out on the sideline. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I saw it on X.
I don't know.
Morning.
It looked like it could have been a bad injury. I didn't read too much in it other than I saw the clip when it came down my timeline. And I was briefly on there, but I don't know what happened. But again, it just points to, you're never going to legislate it out of the game, entirely. So it's just kind of a part of it. It's a dangerous game that they play, and they all sign up for it. So it is what it is, John.
Yeah, no one's arguing that it's not dangerous. And you talk to people, you talk to players, they know how dangerous it is. And they made that decision in their minds that you can make a lot of money, but again, you think differently when you're 22 versus 52, and maybe your knees are shot and your back is shot, whatever. But I mean, that's part of growing old, unfortunately. So I mean, this is the time of year where I go. And then, the preseason has become a bunch of, and I use the term crash test dummies, understanding, I might get canceled for it. They don't play any of the good players. Oh, but let these players go out and get hurt. And the safety people are all on board. It doesn't make any sense at any level. Like the safety people, if there's any out there, and I assume there isn't because they're listening to the show and they like football, at least to a certain degree. I mean, the hypocrisy. It's like they don't care about, oh, you're undrafted. We don't care about you versus you're the first round pick. You got to be careful. You got to put him. I mean, What the fuck?
They don't actually care about the safety. No. They care about the safety of the important players.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, when people talk about the product and the product not being what it once was, well, yeah, because they don't practice football. I mean, in the spring, flag football, Rick Woolen looked like a superstar. Now that the pads are on, he looks like the guy he looked like in Seattle, which is obviously he's got tremendous physical gifts, but there's some issues. It's different game.
No doubt about it. All right, Johnny Mac, 11 practices in here on training camp. We've had a lot. We've had a lot happen in this first 11 days. If you kind of rewind and recap a little bit of the whole thing, where you have started off with Jonathan Grenard, heads to the PUP list. We had announcements on Lane Johnson that this is probably most likely. Probably was the word that was used, but all signs point to this being Lane Johnson's last year of football. You have all the battles, you have the injuries to a couple of key players that have kept them out, some more important than others from a sense of who needs the reps in practice and who doesn't. Obviously, two being the main receivers, Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon. I don't think anybody's worried about Devontae, but Mekhi Lemon has become a question mark. Some of the emerging players, John, at that position group. A lot of stuff going on. And then yesterday, a big brawl that broke out at practice.
Yeah.
I don't know whose side the fans are on, John, Fred or Morrow. I don't think you want to be diving at a dude's legs, Morrow. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I think more people would have been Team Morrow if it ended after it ended with Fred pancaking him to the ground, putting his body weight on him. I think everybody was Team Morrow. And then everybody went, oh, you took it too far when he threw himself like a missile at his knees. Yeah, I'm with you. That changed my thinking about it, but it's, Morrow's a very important player and Fred is a backup. So, I mean, from that perspective, everybody's Team Morrow.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we just talked about, the important players.
Yeah,
the important players are always going to matter more. But I didn't. That was interesting to me. Why Morrow dove at his leg? Because I feel like isn't that kind of like everybody knows that.
Well, I think it was.
Like they try not to tackle low like that. Like it feels to me like that's kind of like an unwritten rule. Not, I think it is a written rule actually when it comes to tackling, but. Don't dive at somebody's legs. I mean, or knees.
Yeah, I think it was clearly a situation where he was seeing red and not thinking. I mean, he just lost it, basically. Yeah. He knows better than that. Yeah, but sometimes, sure, everybody's been reached a point of anger where they kind of lost it at some point in their lives. Hopefully, it didn't hurt anybody, but everybody can. I think resonate with being that upset and that angry over something. And he was upset.
Yeah. Well, anger gets the best of us all. I'm sure everybody's experienced that, but yeah, that happened yesterday, John. What do you make of kind of the rest of the stuff I mentioned there with the first 11 days where we've had, some big news come out of camp from a sense of, Grenard and then Lane and obviously the receivers have been a storyline. You have the developing storylines and then you kind of have the big splashes.
Yeah, interested with Lane, obviously, to do it this early and basically allow everyone in on the secret that this will be it. You can do it both ways, obviously. From Lane's perspective, he didn't want his teammates, most of them know this is it. So he didn't want them answering questions or having to do things. So we'll see how it works out. And then from the team as a whole, does that elevate you a little bit and say, let's do it for Lane. Maybe it's just that little bit of extra effort. Take advantage of the last piece of that shelf life. Or it can go in the negative direction, actually. So that's interesting. The injury stuff is pretty straightforward to me. It has been and even wide receiver coach told me he's not worried about Devontae. So, Grenard don't care as long as they're healthy before week 1. And it's not going to be into the season. Then it becomes an issue. Don't care about training camp reps, preseason reps for the most part. For guys like Mekhi Lemon, yeah, very, very important. And then if you want to go down to somebody like Cole Wisniewski, who's missed, I think, 9 of 11 practices. Keyshawn James Newby, who's missed, I believe, 8 of 11 practices. I mean, they're cooked when it comes to, yeah, they might start on the practice squad. They might start on injured reserve. I'm not saying cooked forever, but as far as the initial 53.
Yeah, right. I mean, your
they're
late round
cooked.
picks, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. So the injury stuff is pretty straightforward to me. And then there's, the gray area might be Jonathan Jones, somebody like that, who's been out with a shoulder. And to me, he was a lock to be the third outside corner. But if this shoulder thing, and Vic sort of intimated that it would last a little bit longer, you've cracked the door for Mac McWilliams a little bit, who's played pretty well. So that's an interesting. I still lean towards Jones because that's a very important job. Third corner. You think about it when Isaiah Rodgers was here and Slay was here, and Slay got banged up a couple times, and Quinyon got banged up the one time. And Isaiah Rodgers came in and played really well. And then last year, they struggled to find the second corner, where finally settled on Adoree Jackson. And anytime Keely Ringo or Jacorian Bennett had to come in, it was a disaster. That's a very important role. And I don't think Vic is going to trust it to Mac McWilliams, even after some impressive training camp, if Jones can get back healthy. Because he's proven he knows how to play.
But do you think Jones is reliable at this point in his career from a health standpoint?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that the health is the only problem. He doesn't have a long history of injuries. He's been very durable over his career, but again, he is getting older. I still lean towards him as long as he gets back. And I think I think you'd much rather have him on the field if need be. You don't want either on the field because you want Quinyon to stay healthy and Reek to stay healthy. But if you need that Isaiah Rodgers, I'd rather have Jonathan Jones than Mac McWilliams. But the injuries could complicate that.
Well, we'll see what happens with that, Johnny Mac. I do agree with you on some of the depth pieces there, what that looks like, moving forward. John, you don't seem to be concerned at all about Grenard. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience, so I'm not worried about him from that standpoint. But any thought on, he is new here. He's new with Vic. Hasn't been able to really practice much with Vic. Vic is obviously a coach, more of an old school coach that does value practice. What's your thought process on Jonathan Grenard as we get a little closer to the season here? Hasn't been out there for any of training camp, been on the PUP list. And I do wonder what kind of impact he'll have, at least early in the year here, assuming he gets healthy. I think he'll be all right, but I'm wondering how it looks early.
Well, the only thing that I think changes is maybe the early level of reps, and for two reasons. One, Vic made a big thing about being callous to football the other day. So that's kind of what we talked about with not practicing even what they do practice or playing. So maybe instead of 50, it's 30 early. And part of that has to do with the depth as well. They're comfortable with Jalyx Hunt and Nolan Smith. So if you weren't comfortable with the secondary options, then maybe it would be different. But I do think the reps might take a while to get up to where they want them. But other than that, pack is a pack. It's going to heal. Just don't, if it truly is strained, don't fuck with it, because if it tears, he's going to be out for half the season minimum. So you got to wait for that thing to heal properly.
Yeah. Which kind of limits them in a lot of areas, right? Like you're not working out your upper body with the pec strain, like you just said. You can't be doing much. I mean, you don't want to hurt it more.
Yeah. There's things around, obviously you focus, on on your lower body. Like when N'Kobe had all the leg injuries, he focused on his upper body and he showed up like a different dude. So there's obviously things you can do. But yeah, a little bit. I mean, he'll have to, when he does get clearance, he'll have probably take a couple weeks to get back to where he was. But very savvy player, knows how to play. Don't worry about it from that standpoint. But it'd be better if he was out there. I think that's fair to say. And he's not. And I know he's disappointed about it because he wanted to prove himself. And he didn't do the spring because he was coming off shoulder surgery and now some bad luck. So it happens.
How do you think the dudes behind him have looked in camp from a sense of stepping up? Because one of the, not a silver lining, but John, but one of the things that happens when somebody misses is that other people get reps, other people get opportunities. Look at, Darius Cooper right now on the receiving group. Look at, some of those guys. Has anybody really stepped into that role? Obviously, Jalyx Hunt has had a really strong camp, as we've heard about. Does he look more closer to being a number one than you thought? Does Nolan Smith look like he's made progress moving forward? Does Ebiketie and Epineza look like threes as opposed to being, fourth and fifth guys? What have you seen from the depth there?
Well, yeah, Hunt's been the guy. Hunt looks a lot closer. I don't know about being number one, but a lot closer than he would have been coming into it. And he's been one of the best players at camp as a whole. So he's number one. And two things about they really amped up his snaps on the left side, as I've explained, where he typically plays more on the right side, and they flipped Nolan Smith to playing more on the right side. That tells me two different things. One, they want him on the field with Grenard. He's passed Nolan Smith on the pecking order. That's number one. Number two, they expect Grenard back, which is good because they wouldn't be doing it. They would just put Jalyx where he's most comfortable. So that's good. Nolan's a good player. He's just getting passed over by better players. Doesn't mean he's bad. So he's still very helpful. And then 4 and 5, whether it's Ebiketie and Epineza or Epineza and Ebiketie, it's better than you had. How good it is, it's a lot better than what you've had, to the point where Vic, both years he was here, basically condensed to playing 3 edge rushers. And now he doesn't have to do that. Now, a lot of people say he prefers to do that. And then it's not going to show up much. But if guys are out, they're better equipped to handle it. I don't know how much that fourth guy is going to play because it's not Vic's history. Maybe more early because Grenard's on a snap count. But once they get into it, if you have Grenard at 100%, Hunt and Smith all at 100%, I don't know how much that fourth guy is going to play. And my guess is it won't be very much at all because that's right. Vic's history.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do. That is kind of how Vic tends to run it. So we'll see kind of who steps up this year. John, a lot of excitement around Jalyx Hunt, and you seem to think it's warranted at this point.
Yeah, he's been great. Just a natural at everything. And sometimes you just have those guys. People talk about it leading the team in interceptions and how rare that is for an edge defender. He and people point to his safety history at Cornell, but Vic downplayed that. He's just a natural athlete. And now You know, one of his issues coming out was he was undersized. He was small, you know, need to get stronger, number one. And now he walked by us, said hello after getting some water ice. He's just jacked now. Again, getting into an NFL strength program. Now, I think that's the final piece of the puzzle. Now he looks like an edge rusher. I always tell the story. The first time I ever met Josh Sweat, I said, that dude's an edge rusher, man. He's just, I mean, for those who don't know Josh's history, he was like a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, one of the top players in the country, and he had a horrific leg injury that kind of derailed him when he got it at the end of high school and when he went to Florida State. So that set him back. But just from the frame, the physical stature, like if Hollywood was doing an edge rushing movie, they'd cast Josh Sweat, somebody like that. 6'5", long, monster. That's what Jalyx Hunt looks like now. He's not quite as tall or lengthy, but now he looks like an edge rusher. And he grew into his body. And that was one of the things they said. He's got the frame to grow into it and get bigger, and he has. And he's more powerful, and he's more equipped to hold up on the edge. He's gonna be a really good player.
A lot of excitement on Jalyx, Johnny Mac. I think he's going to have a big year this year, and I do like the tidbit you've been given too. They've been lining him up on the other side because Grenard likes the left, right? So they've been putting.
No, he likes the right.
The right. Sorry, I get them mixed up.
Well, yeah. When you look at defense, it's from the defensive perspective. So Grenard's the right end. It's really a right overhang player. Jalyx typically.
So it's like looking at the defensive line from Zach Bond's position. That's how you would. Okay,
yes.
Fair enough.
So both Grenard and Hunt are more comfortable on the right. Now they both move. They'll move occasionally. You got to move people around. You look for matchups. If you're really good, you just like Micah Parsons, you move all over. All right, where's the shitty offensive lineman? He can move up inside, outside, wherever. But for the most part, the vast majority of those snaps, and Nolan has been more comfortable as a left overhang player, which typically is the way you want your edge setter to be on the left side, because most teams are right-handed and they're going to run more to the right side. So that's always been the tradition of if you have a good, in the old school 3-4 base left end, they used to call it. Those were the run stoppers. Game's changed a lot since then. Not as important as it once was to have those clearly defined roles, but the bottom line is Hunt is more comfortable on the right side. Nolan's more comfortable on the left side. They're flipping them, and that tells me that it's because they want Hunt on the field more when Grenard is back.
I agree with you there. I mean, that's going to be interesting. Nolan will still be a big part of the rotation, though. Even with that, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, they can't just have two. Even three.
Yeah, they're playing that threes. You should play 4, but Vic hasn't typically liked to do that. But you have to play 3.
Vic is going to Vic, John. That's kind of what it's kind of what here's Anthony Hunt. He checks in. Zander, reports are saying Cooper and Wicks are stepping up as elite options in the passing game.
That's a strong word.
That's a strong word. I was going to say that.
I would not go that far. Nick tried to downplay Darius a little bit yesterday. Wicks has been very good. He had a very good practice yesterday. But elite, that's a big word. DeMonte's elite. That's, again, everything depends on your definition. But most people's definition, they would not be described as elite. But they're both having very good camps.
Good stuff there. All right, Johnny Mac. Anthony, thank you, man. I am excited about Darius Cooper, but we will see if he's given the opportunity. Chosen One John checks in. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys being here. We're going to get through Jeff Kerr texted back. He'll join us this morning, so we'll talk to Jeff a little later on. John says this, not John McMullen, super chatter, John. It's not excuses for Hurts. I just witnessed these rookie quarterbacks first start in the NFL and a new offense throwing the ball on time and into tight windows.
So what's the excuse? You're saying they did throw it. They did throw it into.
Yeah, so there's no excuse.
I get you.
Parent Jalen Hurts is 6 years now.
Yeah.
Come on, John.
Who's the kid who played in the Hall of Fame game from Georgia Tech?
No, from Georgia, Carson Beck. Oh no,
the other kid. Carson played well too, Carson Beck. But both of those quarterbacks, Haynes King, was it Haynes?
Haynes King.
Like they look very good. Again, all reps are not created. I said this yesterday. All reps are not created equal. If you're in there against the third team, and they deserve credit because most quarterbacks look like shit with the third team. So amongst the third string quarterbacks, that's pretty good. That's how you sort of have to grade it. Like if Quinyon's out there and Cooper's out there and Reek Woolen's out there and Jalen Carter, and you got that defensive front, and Haynes King is out there, he's not throwing the ball on time and in the tight windows. All reps, that is the biggest problem, I think, with fans' evaluation of preseason football. All reps are not created equal. Playing well with the third team does not translate to playing well with the first team. Eventually it might. But, I mean, you've all watched a lot of NFL football. It's usually a struggle for rookie quarterbacks, and the ones who do play well, they might be spectacular because of athleticism and arm strength and ability. They just have more ability, like Caleb Williams early in his career, and they make plays and they can throw the ball like few others, but it's still very uneven. Like there's no rookie quarterback playing the position at a high level from a processing standpoint. That takes years. So all reps are not created equal is what I would say.
Go ahead and put it. Did you watch any of the games last night, John?
I would like to say yes because it's my job, but I'd be lying to you. I gotta watch. I prefer honesty. I gotta watch preseason football tomorrow that I gotta pay attention to, and I gotta ramp myself up for that. That's it's not pretty usually.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm telling you, I think the wild card tomorrow night, from an entertainment standpoint, is Cole Payton. I mean, we got a gunslinger who can run. I mean, can he entertain more?
Well, he's gonna excite some people with his athleticism. He's gonna run it a couple times.
That's what I mean. And even the gunslinging. That's what I said from an entertainment standpoint. If it's 4 picks, I mean, it's not good, but it might be entertaining.
Yeah, it might be. They wouldn't be happy, that's for sure. But yeah, he is gifted from an athleticism standpoint. But he only started one season in college in North Dakota State. He's got a long way to go when it comes to the processing part.
Yeah, agreed there. All right, John, thanks for the super chat, man. We do appreciate you checking in with $10 this morning. 11 practices in, everybody. John, speaking of that preseason game tomorrow, my friend, what to look for, some players you think to watch. Everybody's getting ready for the preseason game. I know
players to watch.
I know we kind of joke about it, but John, there are people out there, who are excited, and I get it. They're excited to see their Eagles back on the field. I did see, what else did I see from last night? Oh, AJ Brown in his Patriots uniform. I'm sure some people were looking at that.
The jilted X. The jilted X.
Yeah. What's important for the Birds tomorrow, if anything? I know it's nobody on the top starting 22, but.
Well, as usual, the most important stuff is the boring stuff. How many penalties? They come out of it with no injuries. The operation is key to me. Sean Mannion, how he handles the communication. Personnel packages, all that stuff. Is that seamless? So it's actually the boring stuff that nobody gets. That's the important stuff. And that might be the most important, the operation part of the offense. So if you see pre-snap stuff, that's not good. As far as the players, I mean, they're competing. So the players that are competing for jobs. We talked about it at the outset of the show. A certain group, Darius Cooper's got to keep it going. Just like Nick Sirianni said, it's August 13th yesterday. What's today? August 14th. It's not over. He can't just shut it down and say, I had a good camp to this point. He's got to finish the deal to even get in the conversation to have that opportunity. And then there's, all the bubble players, Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee, not bubble players, but for the second team quarterback job. That's obviously interesting. The Ty Robinsons of the world, the Willie Lampkins of the world. We talked about the edge rushers. Where's AJ Epinesa? People will be excited by Uar Bernard, even though what did Vic say? He's got light years to go. But people will want to see him. Elijah Moore has had a tremendous camp. Johnny Wilson's got to get himself back in the conversation. He's back on the practice field after missing a couple days. So that was good for him because now he'll be able to play in the game. Nobody pays attention to special teams, but you should. And don't pay attention to the kickers. Pay attention to the long snapper. Where are those things going? Because he has not been consistent. And right now, if I were a betting man, I would say that the long snapper is not on this team yet. But, Rocco can change that. Rocco Underwood, if he gets more consistent, starts settling down. Punt return, kick return. That, Britton Covey's their ace in the hole because there's no reason to keep him on the 53. He's vested. You don't have to put him through waivers. You can do the wink deal and say, we're going to cut you, but we're going to bring you back on the practice squad. We're going to elevate you for the first 3 games and then figure it out. So they have that insurance policy of punt returner, but they're trying to see if Elijah Moore can return punts. And if they can do that, maybe he can make the roster. They've tried him on kickoff returns, trying to make him more valuable. Cam Williams and Miles Hinton. I mean, right now they're on the outside looking in. They gotta put together some good reps to even get back in the conversation. So there's a bunch of players where it's very, very meaningful for. But as far as the most important, clean operation on offense, out of it healthy, and show an occasional spark to get the people excited.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it, Johnny Mac. Good rundown there. We'll see if they're able to do that. Obviously, some of those depth guys. I want to see guys like Darius Cooper. I want to see some of these depth guys that we've talked about here in camp that have a chance to make an impact on the team if they continue to play well. There's not that many of those guys, but like the backup corners, I think are interesting because corner, you're subject to injury there. We've seen a lot of rotation sometimes at that spot. Last year, I think Adoree Jackson missed, left a couple games. The year prior was Slay. He left a couple games. So I'm looking there. I'm looking at Cooper.
Should have mentioned Eli Stowers. Everybody will be, maybe Eli's a game player, not a practice player. Maybe he shows up with a big catch or something. Just
in
right
theory,
now,
it should be a good environment for him.
Yeah, right now it's Dallas Goedert and Johnny Munt. And that ain't good. So, and Eli's going to make the team. I mean, there's no question about that, but be nice if he can contribute, especially in this offense where you need a bunch of tight ends.
Yeah. Offensive line, too. Depth on the offensive line, I think, will be interesting to watch. Who's the best of the depth on the O-line right now? I guess outside. Oh, is he?
Yeah, Drew's locked in, I would say. Obviously Bell would have the bigger upside, but I mean, he's going to be interesting to watch too. I don't know. It's so hard. Let's see somebody else rush Markel Bell. See what it looks like. Fred's obviously you've seen a lot of Fred. He's competent. But that's why Bell is here. Hopefully he can take over that swing tackle job early on. If not, then you got to keep both of them, which makes it more difficult. You probably have to keep one less on the interior. Willie Lampkin's going to be the guy everybody's fired up about because he's so unique looking. And I guarantee they're going to make a big thing about him on television because of the size difference. And he's got this fire plug of a body. He's incredibly strong for his size. He's a former high-level wrestler. He's got great balance and leverage. Very quick. So he can get to the second level, which is big on this offense. I think he's going to be – he was a big star. It's hard to be a star on the offensive line, but he was a big star for the Rams fans last year in the preseason because he stood out. And I think the same thing's going to happen with the Eagles this year.
Agreed. All right, good stuff there, Johnny Mac. Let's go to one more super chat. We'll get Kerr in here soon. John says this: it's a learning experience as a parentheses throwing quarterback who's willing to learn.
Yeah.
Is he insinuating Jalen Hurts isn't willing to learn? Has a low teachability?
Yeah,
index? Is that what you're saying?
You got to clarify for us, John. I don't know what you're trying to say there, but yeah, I mean, obviously everything's a learning experience, and you got to be willing to learn. So, I mean, that's self-explanatory, but is that a shot at Jalen? I don't know. Jalen's learned a lot over the years. Again, the evolution from 21 to 25, it's there if you look for it. The offense didn't change, as Bick let everybody in on. But he changed.
Speaking of quarterback, who do you think starts on Saturday?
Good question. I think it'll be Andy Dalton. But wouldn't surprise me if it's Tanner McKee. Would surprise me if it's Jalen Hurts.
It's not going to be Jalen Hurts. No way, right?
I would think no way. But
is the preseason important for Mannion?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, he's got to do, again, all the operational shit. Like, he's got to he's got to not only impart the information, but get the information from others in a really finite amount of time. That 40 seconds goes quick. and you got more motion. You got so you got to be up at the line of scrimmage a lot earlier. That should be no problem because they're taking away the reading the coverage aspect for more of the pure progression. So you don't have to sit there and look at the defense. You have to make sure all the position coaches are on point when it comes to changing those personnel groupings, because they'll use 11, 12, 13, 21. And all that's got to go seamless. Be nice if they could eliminate penalties on rub routes, but that's maybe a pie in the sky. Because they're going to run a lot of rub routes, so they better freaking figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I would say about anybody, the biggest story is Sean Mannion and what it looks like. And what it looks like, I don't mean points, yards, what people think I mean. I mean what it looks like. Are guys lined up correctly? Are there's not 3 delays of game? All that kind of stuff. Are people confused? And is Jamal Singleton sending out Carson Steele while Aaron Moorhead sending out 3 receivers? That's what I'm talking about. And if that gets ugly, it's going to get ugly in Philadelphia quickly.
Yeah, well, it is good first reps for Mannion to get some plays called and things like you just said. So we'll see what it looks like for him. You know, he's got to work on that. Obviously, it is new to him, but it feels like he's had a pretty good start to training camp. Like as good as you can have. I mean, you're a coach; it's hard to really gauge, but it does feel like the players have responded to him well. Jalen's responded to him well, and I do like that. It feels as though John, he understands the importance of the communication with the players and the quarterback. Like I was reading Mark Trestman's book, and he writes in that book, one of the most important relationships on all of the entire organization is the play caller and the quarterback. And if they don't have a good relationship or a good form of communication, it's going to permeate. And it feels as though Sean understands that he needs to have that with Jalen. I'm not there. I haven't talked to Sean, so I'm just going off of what I've heard and what I've listened to. But it does feel as though that's the case for me. I don't know if you see it differently.
Yeah, I mean, and Mark's tremendous. I'm looking forward to getting that book. He's supposed to send it to me. Mark, send it to me. But
he'll send it. If he said he would, he will.
Yeah, very smart offensive guy. Very smart. I mean, Sean's a quarterback. Yeah, he understands the relationship part of it. That part doesn't concern me. Like people are making a big deal. I don't know. I've heard a couple people say he doesn't even know if he's calling the plays from the field or in the box. I don't believe that for a second. I believe he did say that, but I think he was instructed to say it just to keep. Again, Nick Sirianni's obsessive with competitive. He doesn't want to give any information out at any point. He's a quarterback a long time. He's going to be on the field. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. He knows where he's calling the plays, and it's going to be on the field. So he understands that relationship. You're not going to have the same feel if you're up in the booth with the quarterback and that kind of stuff. And again, he's decade in the NFL as a backup quarterback. He understands the dynamics of it. That part to me is not the question. The overwhelming amount of information coming at you and digesting it is the stuff you got to get used to. And again, a very short period of time. And usually that's going to take some experience doing it. There's no other way to replicate. The Eagles try to replicate it as much as possible in practice. They have coaching headphones on a lot. They call it periods a lot more than they typically do, as Nick said, to try to get them prepared. So they're doing everything possible, but you can't replicate a live game experience until it's a live game. So that's, to me, the most important part of this upcoming game. And number 2 is not close. How he handles the communication, inputting and outputting the information. As a first-time offensive coordinator, first-time play caller with very little coaching experience overall.
Well, what do you make of the way Jalen has spoke about him in terms of like the explanations for why they're doing things? Like, it doesn't ever feel like, again, I'm just going off of what I heard. It never felt as though Jalen was confident or comfortable with Kevin Patullo. Now, maybe there's some hindsight there, but you know that clip of him in the locker room after they won the Super Bowl talking about Patullo, you heard a couple comments that were a little bit, snide at the podium about him a little bit. Never really expressed confidence in Kevin Patullo, at least from my perspective. It feels as though Jalen's given a little bit more so of that to Sean Mannion.
Yeah, I don't play much into that. I mean, Jalen's the same guy. Jalen's like a flat line. The way people parse his comments, he's the same through all of them. Same guy. The little difference is he's very intentional. We always use that word. He's very intentional. The little difference is, like last year, the big thing from his perspective was not practicing what they were trying to change to. And he didn't think it made sense from that standpoint. And I agree with him. That was what it was about. Usually when he's asked about coordinators, he defaults to, well, it's not my job, basically, in a very Jalen Hurts way. It's not his decision, so he tries to make it the best case of it, and he doesn't use it as an excuse, yada, yada, yada. Now, I think he knows he's in a different position this year than he has been in the past with the contract standpoint. He's got to have a good year. So I think there's a little amped up understanding of this has to work. So the quickest reason to make it not work is to make it evident that you're not thrilled with the offensive coordinator, which you would never do in the first place. So I think that's a long way of saying I think people take way too seriously and parse his words way too deeply. I get he's the starting quarterback, but he's the same guy. He was the same guy through Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, who was a family friend.
Like he is intentional, though. I mean, you always say that. He's very intentional, I think, about what he says.
Yeah,
even if he is even keeled. I do agree he's very even keeled.
He's very intentional about the success or failures, and when things are not going well. So that's the difference people see. And I can't force people to say, like, well, he doesn't like this guy and he likes this guy. Like, I mean, if you want to rate, Brian Johnson would be the one who would be the closest to him. I mean, that didn't work. If you want to go to the quarterback coaches, you have a similar turnover. Scott Loeffler would be, the guy he's shown the most interest in, and that didn't work. So, I mean, to me, it's all about, does the offense work or does the offense not work? And then if it's not working, you're going to hear the same things. Well, Jalen doesn't like, and it's not going to be true. But you're going to hear similar things.
I don't know. It does feel, so you don't think he sounds any more comfortable or confident in Sean than he did previously, even if it's playing politics. I mean, it might be. He's got a contract looming, maybe.
Well, I think
it's part of
I
that.
think there is. Yeah, I think that part of it's real. He understands it's different this time. But I think even in that case, I think most of it is he's fine with it now because they're doing it the right way. They started in the spring. They're doing it throughout training camp. So now it's like, well, it's not my job. Would he prefer to do something else? Probably. But it's not his job to do that. So it's his job to take the marching orders and do it to the best of his ability. The difference between this year and last year is they did it from day one, not week 7. Now, if they get to week 7 this year and say, you know what, this stinks, we're going to go to Josh Grenard. It's not going to happen. We're going to go to Josh Grisard. We're going to run his mindset on his version of this scheme and change some things up. He'll have the same pushback. Like, what are we doing? That's off-season stuff. That I think is the lone major difference.
Well, we'll see how it all looks this year, obviously, with Sean Mannion. But a big preseason for him to kind of get acclimated to at least being there and making calls and getting them in on time and things of that nature. We'll see what that looks like. So, John, what would you put the percentage of Jalen taking a snap then in preseason this year? Low, right?
5%.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
They a couple of years ago, I forget what year, it all runs together. They had a game in Baltimore. Had to be 2-3 years ago. And they were preparing the starters to play for a series or two, and it rained and they didn't like the field conditions and they scrapped it at the last minute. So you can never say never. And it would make more sense this year because you are changing so much. But I still don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. But I leave the door slightly ajar. And that would be the reason. Wow, we're changing so many things. We have to get them some live reps. That would be what they would lean on. But what is 2 series going to do for you? Like, again, I point back to where we started the show. What is that going to do for you? And by the way, on top of that, and this is the reason I put it so low, they have to join practices next week with New England, which are going to be the 2 most important practices of the summer from their perspective. That's where the starters get their work, the key people. Yeah. So I would be stunned if the offensive starters are out there. Vic will try to get as many as he can get out there. But again, I think that's part of the reason why Quinyon and Cooper were put on the injury report. So Vic can't play them.
It's actually a good call by you on Cooper and Quinyon. Here's Fredo. September 13th, I'm looking forward to meeting Johnny Mac. Do I need to pay for? I don't think you're going to be meeting Johnny Mac, dude. He'll be in the stadium.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop by, depending how early it is. But depending on where it is, it's like I don't know where it's going to be.
I forget what lot we're in. We had the lot. We already know where we're going to be. I forget.
Yeah, it's tough to get around in South Philadelphia.
Yeah, especially on the first game. I mean, first game day, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I thought I had it. I don't have it right here active. I'll find it afterwards.
But I'll at some point I'll stop by. It might not be September 13th, opening day. But at some point, it might be.
Maybe Fredo. Don't get your hopes up though. All right, that's what I tell you. All right, we'll see. All right, John, good stuff. Other preseason notes coming up tomorrow here for the Birds with game number 1. Obviously, we already talked a little bit about who's going to play. Probably not much going on there. A couple days ago, John, you went on a tangent at the end of our morning segment from the car about the pick. Man, is it interesting how polarizing
Oh
the
my God.
Philadelphia Eagles
I
have become.
cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Like, and I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about national people talking about that like it was egregious. I mean, what is going on? We got to stop dumbing down society. We really need to stop dumbing down society. You can't show, and these are media people saying you can't show some. That's part of the problem. There should be more access. You should be seeing all these plays. You shouldn't be advocating. You shouldn't show that. Get out of the media. You should be kicked out of the media. And by the way, as we reported that day, that particular play, I thought it made Jalen look better because it didn't look great from the field. It looked like a really poor, low behind him throw from the field level. Because you can't, I mean, you're doing the best you can, but you don't have great angles. And now that you see the video, it's a bad route by Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hanging the quarterback out to dry. But anyway, you're practicing the offense practices against the defense. Quinyon Mitchell's an all-pro cornerback. You're highlighting Quinyon Mitchell. Give me a fucking, who are these people that think you have to, and Jalen Hurts of all people, you got to handle him with kid gloves. Oh my God. Oh my God. He threw a practice interception. And I blame, Elliott essentially. Good dude. I love you, Elliott. But I mean, the practice stats are stupid. But people have lost the plot, man. It's not that big of a deal. And trust me, it ain't affecting Jalen Hurts. Well, it might affect him more. That 20 million people watched it. He's like, what the fuck? Who cares? Basically, would be my guess.
Yeah, it helps his brand.
Yeah, well, that's true. That maybe he does look at it that way. Keep talking about it, you morons.
Well, I mean, how else do we reason with why so many people are interested in this damn thing?
I mean, have John, no idea.
Jalen, in some ways, Jalen has become a face of the league. Whether people love him or hate him, I think that's true.
He's been one of the faces of the league for a long time now.
Yeah,
that's not disputable. As far as we talked about that a little bit yesterday, as far as why he's so polarizing, I think it has more to do with his style of play than anything else. Not a polarizing person at all. Hard worker, doesn't say crazy shit. I mean, there's nothing incredibly mature. Jeffrey Lurie said he's 28 now, but said it when he was 25. Most mature 25-year-old he's ever met. He's not polarizing as a person. His play style is polarizing. And there's two sides. Again, just like politics, you got two extremes. Like, he's the best player in football because he won the Super Bowl and he outplayed Patrick. That's stupid. And it's also stupid to say he can't play the position and he's along for the ride and he's not a legitimate NFL starting quarterback because he doesn't play the style of quarterback I think you have to play that's just as stupid on the other side. So you have these two wingnut camps muddying up the conversation, and they just scream at each other. It's the exact same as politics. They just scream at each other. Neither understands remotely what's going on.
Good way to put it, Johnny Mac. It was interesting though to see 20 million people watch that thing at Jalen. By the way, nice play by Quinyon Mitchell. Bad play by Hollywood Brown, and I think you're right about it. I think Hollywood left Jalen out to dry on that route.
Well, I've said that for a while. What I think when quarterbacks throw really, and I'm talking about veteran quarterbacks, when they throw really poor interceptions to the naked eye, I mean, really poor. Like, what is he doing? Interceptions.
Yeah.
It's usually because the receiver's not where he's supposed to be. Usually.
Right. Thrown to a spot, receiver's not there,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you look like a moron.
Exactly. 9 times out of 10, it's usually that. Which, can be negative too for a quarterback because we talk about the risk-averse philosophy of this team, where it comes from, where it's set. Is he willing to take chances? We're going to see more this year. Have they beaten it out of them? Nobody wants to look bad as a quarterback, but it's part of the gig, man. You're going to look bad. There's nothing you can do about it. But that's the cardinal rule for a receiver. Do not fool the quarterback. Be where you're supposed to be. And don't round out your routes like Hollywood Brown has been doing. Sharp, distinct cuts like Dontavian Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks having a hell of a camp. I'm excited about that. We'll see if he's we'll see how he does this year. Here's Jason A-Team checking in. What's up, A-Team? Here's A-Team. He says this. Funny how Kyle McCord looked decent in Green Bay.
Yeah, Kyle. I did see Kyle play.
That was last night.
I don't know how good he looked, but I did see he played.
Hoping Cole Payton can show something, and if he does look good, Eagles have a quarterback problem on their hands? ? It'll be interesting what they do, and they clearly can't keep 4. Trade McKee? ? I think he's talking about backups.
Oh, all right, yeah, I think if he plays well, it raises up they want to trade Tanner. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Are they willing to accept? The best they're getting at this point is probably a late 3 pick with maybe a condition on it to get it up to maybe a 4, your best case scenario. Are they willing to accept that, or will Howie will probably take it down to the last minute and not hoping, that's a bad word, but injuries happen and take advantage of maybe the desperation. And if Tanner plays well in the preseason, that'll help those matters. But I mean, if Cole plays poorly, then they can just cut him and put him on the practice squad. And they'll be comfortable getting him through waivers. Same thing happened with McCord last year. But I'm glad he's and again, I don't know how well he played, but he could have come back, I was told, and he decided he'd fresh start Green Bay, which is a good offense. The Eagles are copying it. Good history with quarterbacks. So I wouldn't give up on Kyle McCord just yet. And by the way, I don't know if I said that, but I wrote it on SI. I don't know if I said it on the show. So I asked Nick yesterday off when his press conference was over, if install was complete, because I thought it was, by the looks, I thought it was complete. What's today? Thursday? And off Wednesday. Friday. And off. So Tuesday's practice. and he gave me one of these. It's mainly done, but I think there's a little couple tweaks because of the newness, but it's pretty much done. And now that I saw it on Tuesday, it's of all the versions, like we've constantly heard Shanahan McVay, it's the Packers version. This is the Packers offense. Like, this is a replicant of the Packers offense, which shouldn't be that surprising. That's where he was. They are running the Packers offense. And what gave it away was all the pistol. They're doing a lot of pistol in the run game, and that's what the Packers do. Now, it'll tweak it, a little bit because they have different players, but that's the framework. They're running the Packers offense. And just like when Jonathan Gannon first got here and nobody knew who he was playing Vic's defense, just people didn't recognize it. They're playing the Packers offense, the Packers version of the Shanahan McVay tree.
Is that a good thing?
It's a good offense. I mean, it's not
From
a
a
bad
fit
thing.
perspective.
I'm just saying. Well,
Yeah,
no,
but you
I
always talk about the
don't
importance of,
I don't like it
building
from a
around your
fit
player.
perspective because the Packers have been running it for years, and they draft and they acquire players with that sentiment in mind. Now the Eagles will start doing that from this point forward. Is it a fit for the current group? No, what they did before is a fit for the current group, but they're making that dramatic change. And you'll see different stressing of different styles of players. And you already saw it with Mekhi Lemon and Eli Stowers, two more inside receivers. You're already seeing it. It's already started. So, but I mean, you got a long way. You just started that process.
Well, we'll see what it looks like this year. I'm hoping the Eagles offense has a better year this year, John, than they did last year. And Sean Mannion's got to be one of the guys that do it. Jalen Hurts is the next guy who's got to elevate them and do it. And now a lot is hinging on this receiving group as well. Dontavian Wicks, maybe Darius Cooper, Mekhi Lemon. I think we all feel pretty good about Devontae Smith, but it's gonna be interesting to see what it looks like this year.
Well, it started with Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, Mekhi Lemon. If you put them in order, it started with Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Dontavian Wicks as your top three. Today, it's Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and Mekhi Lemon as your top three, just flipping the two. And yeah, it's those are the guys that are going to play. So Mekhi's got to get out there. The plan is to play Mekhi Lemon. So that's the plan. If he doesn't get out there, you got to change your plan, but that's what they want to happen.
At what point will you be more open to that? Like at what date? August 25th? September 10th?
Well, I don't know if there is a date. From the coaching staff's mind, it's not changing for a long time. By that, I mean, when he's healthy, that's the plan. When he's healthy is the dependent. He's going to get opportunity after opportunity. And that was just having a quick conversation with Aaron Moorhead yesterday. That was rubber stamped for me. In other words, there's no. Now, the luxury of playing time, I often say, provides one thing for players. If you go out there for whatever, under any circumstance, and play lights out, nobody's taking you off the field. So if Mekhi Lemon can't go and Darius Cooper goes out there and he turns it into a lights out player, they won't take him off the field. But the likelihood of that is really small. And the reason is because even if he's hurt and even if he's the third, he's not going to get the targets to play like that. The opportunity doesn't exist. It's the life of an undrafted free agent. You know, the toughest part is to get the opportunity. And then you gotta do something. But man, it's really tough for those guys to get the opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's part of the battle, John. It's not easy to make it to the NFL, obviously. You got to keep grinding, keep working, and put yourself in a good position. I hope Cooper's given the opportunity. It feels as though he's done everything to at least earn a shot at it. Jalen speaking highly of him. Everybody seems to like him, and he seems to put his head down and go to work. And I think, John, he's just a flat-out player. I mean, some dudes, they just know how to play, man. They're just good players. They just get on the field and they make it happen. I get the sense that's kind of who Darius Cooper is. Maybe I'm overstating it, but I mean, I know he wasn't a first round pick or even any draft pick, but I don't know. It feels like the dude's got great ability.
Well, he's had a great camp. I've often pointed out, I think there's something to being a playmaker in college, even at the lower level. He's used to having the football in his hands. He's confident. He's, if you throw some of these, 40 catch guys from LSU or Alabama, like Terrace Marshall, or even now with Eku Kanma, who was a big time receiver at Texas Tech, or, they catch 50 balls or something like that. Like, they're not used to being the guy. Like, Darius Cooper was the guy. Everything ran through him. I think there's something to that when it comes to mentality.
I agree. I've taken that point you said and used it because I think it's a great point, John. I really do. Versus a guy like Stowers, who's got this great athletic ability, but he's never been the focal point of an offense or gotten the ball to that level. I think it's a great point by you. We'll see how it looks. All right, John, any final thought? We're going to get to Jeff Kerr here in a second. Before this preseason game, anything else we got to run down on the upcoming game tomorrow? What is it? Tomorrow at 7 in Baltimore?
I believe it's 7. I have to double check. Dreading the aspect of going down to the Charm City, as they call it. Not too charming when you're trying to find the different parking lots around MT and Bank Stadium. MT, is that what it's called? MT. MNT Bank Stadium, yeah. Yeah, a bit of a cluster. Hopefully preseason won't be as bad as a regular season game.
Yeah, might not be. We'll see. All right, good stuff there. Let's go to Jeff Kerr, who's set to join us here. It's been a little bit since we've talked to Jeff. He joins us right now. You can follow him at Jeff Kerr, PHL. Jeff, welcome to the program on this Football Friday. Thanks for doing it for us on short notice. How you been, my friend? It's been a couple weeks.
Been good. Taking a little bit of a hiatus from podcasting and other things, but always have time for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Hiatus from podcasting. Everybody's got to have a podcast home. Come on, Jeff. You got to get.
It's hard to talk about things when you're not really there to talk about them. I could probably go on.
It doesn't stop anybody else. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, you know how I roll, John.
Yeah. Well, you talk about. Let's start there. The controversy of the Jalen Hurts interception. Oh my God, the quarterback! How dare you put the quarterback throwing an interception on social media? Are these people insane?
I wrote about this yesterday when I was doing overreactions because I was so furious that this was even the thing. I actually thought they put the clip out because that was the day that Vic Fangio called Quinyon Mitchell the virgin for the regular season and interceptions. I'm like, oh, they're making the Fangio joke.
Probably were.
That's what I thought it was. I didn't care. Why do we care so much about practice?
I didn't think about that, Jeff, but that's right. Fangio did say that day.
That's what I thought it meant. I was like, oh, okay. Like Fangio made a joke and let's throw the pick. And I'm like, boy, Hollywood Brown.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised more people didn't criticize Vic for that. But he also put the context of the postseason interceptions in there, right behind it. But
it is one of those strange but true facts. Like he has 4 in the
yeah.
postseason.
Well, there's less interceptions now because they've made it so easy to throw the football. There's less interceptions typically than there used to be. But
that was back in the day, when everybody was calling Darrelle Revis Island. John, you and I knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer. But everybody's like, he doesn't have any picks.
You don't have any picks. Yeah, well, so Lewis Wright back in the day was that guy. For old school people, nobody threw at him. Yeah, a lot of times the guys with a lot of picks are not the best corners for that reason. But Quinyon's got, I think, 4 in the postseason. So
yeah, 4. He had 2 in the playoff game last year.
Yeah.
I don't think he gave
by
up
the way,
a touchdown.
use that as an example. That was Quinyon's worst game of the season, by the way.
It was.
And he had 2 interceptions. Literally his worst game of the season.
It was the only game he gave up a passing touchdown last year.
The first half of that game, it was the worst I've ever seen him play as a pro. And he had 2 interceptions. So what does that tell you?
He's really
did
good.
Rebound. He played a lot better in the second half, obviously. But stats can lie to you.
They can.
And he's been lights out as a cornerback in the regular season for 2 consecutive years. Amazing draft pick because Terrion Arnold signed yesterday with the Seahawks. Look, most people thought Terrion Arnold was the better player and around the NFL, the draft people and all that. He was graded by just about everybody above. Quinyon was number 2, and the Eagles could have picked either, and they went with Quinyon. Even with their history recently with Alabama players, they picked Quinyon.
When they picked Quinyon, I like the pick just because I watched a lot of college football, and I'm like, I remember seeing him at Toledo. I'm like, why isn't this guy at Alabama? Why isn't this guy at Oklahoma?
Well, he could have went to Alabama.
Well, that's the thing. He could have went there. And I'm like, man, this guy is really, really good. What am I missing? Well, it turned out I wasn't missing anything.
No, he's been great. And if anything, he's looked even better in this camp. I think he came up with the glute injury from Tuesday.
It's not supposed to be long term, though, right?
No, I think I joke they only put him on there so Vic couldn't play them in Baltimore.
That was my first thought when they didn't practice on Thursday. I'm like, oh, they're not playing anyway.
Yeah, well, with Vic, he might try to play. I think they're trying to derail that. But yeah, it's not serious for either Quinyon or Cooper. And they'll be back. They'll probably be back for the Patriot practices next week, which are more important for the starters' perspective. But who are you interested to see in Baltimore?
Ooh, on Saturday. Yeah, there are a couple guys. Ed Krause put out his guys he wanted to watch. To be honest, the guy I really wanted to see isn't going to play, and that's Mekhi Levin. He hasn't practiced in a week.
Yeah, Mekhi's got to get out there. I think he'll be back next week.
You think he'll be back? Okay, yeah. Because I was like, I'm not sure when he'll be back, and I put him on like the loser section for my where's the loser. I just said, look, just hasn't practiced. I don't know. But you got guys like Elijah
he's been out working on the jugs machine before practice for like 3 consecutive practices. He's close. He's not wearing a compression sleeve on his leg anymore. So he's got to be close. He's got to be close. And I caught up with Aaron Moorhead yesterday. I mentioned, he's like, Devontae's begging to be back. They're just being cautious.
Oh yeah. That's bubble wrap. I don't even worry about him.
Yeah, that's complete bubble wrap on Devontae. But I do think Mekhi will be back. And it is interesting summer fodder, but before you came on, we were talking about, look, Darius Cooper's been great. Elijah Moore's been great in this camp. But when Mekhi's back, they're playing Mekhi.
Exactly.
There's no competition.
Yeah. I mean, I even wrote, like, I did a fun piece where, if I was Howie Roseman, this is what I do. And I said, boy, if we were talking about this in June, putting this scenario out, now David Wicks is your 2 and Darius Cooper is your 3. Forget the Mekhi Lemon injury for a second. You'd be like, they might need to trade for somebody, no matter how well they played.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, if Devontae was legitimately hurt, then they would have to do something.
Yeah, but he's not legitimately hurt.
I mean, they would have to do something. That's interesting. I don't think they have to do something.
I don't either. I just put it out there like that's maybe something I would consider, but I mean, I think I'd give Darius Cooper the shot.
I agree.
You had your Diggs types out there. Who did Diggs just sign with?
Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously he would be better than anything they have, but Eagles don't want that.
John, I want to ask you this because I've been harping on him, just from reading your observations and everything else. Like, is there a chance Elijah Moore makes his team over Hollywood Brown?
Well, yeah, I've been talking about that. I mean, he should.
That's how I said. Elijah's been better.
Hollywood has not been good, but they're paying him $5 million. It's. I'll tell you what. Hollywood Brown's not getting cut. They might try to trade him, but he's not getting cut. So when you start about, will they keep 5? Will they keep 6? I wouldn't keep 6. They might keep 6. I wouldn't personally.
To me, Brown and Moore are the same player.
Well, I don't think they're the same player.
Well, know what I mean, like the same role, I guess.
Yeah, well, Hollywood's more outside, Moore's more inside, more shiftier, way quicker. For all the talk about Hollywood Brown's speed, it doesn't show up, I'll tell you that. And it never has, if you look at his career.
He hasn't been the same guy since the foot injury.
His routes I talk about it all the time. He rounds out his routes. Yesterday in 7-on-7s, Mac McWilliams got an interception and Dontavian Wicks ran the same route, easy touchdown. Because he runs it so sharp.
That was the play that had Hurts and Brown working on after practice, right? Are they working on something after practice?
Yeah, exactly. That exact same route, which it's like, the veteran receiver, he should know that thing's gonna be cut, and you gotta be sharp with that thing.
I always feel like every day, like when I do the winners and losers for practice, I feel like I'm picking on them. I'm like
so do I. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. And it really, if you want to go, Elijah's been better. Cooper's been better. Johnny Wilson's been better.
You don't even hear much of Johnny Wilson.
They started when they start in 12 personnel, which they have been doing. So they start with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Smith is out, remember. So it would be Devontae and Dontavian, but Devontae's out. They've been every day. It's Wicks and Hollywood. Every day.
By the way, my guy I want to watch tomorrow, Drew Kendall. That's the guy.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, John said he's like one of the better backup tight end or backup offensive linemen.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's passed the test for me, Drew Kendall. I think he's going to be a good interior backup, and potentially down the road, he could be a starting player, I think.
Are you on Team Lampkin?
Not as much as most people. I just think that the size limitations will show up if he's got to play. Like, he's very entertaining to watch. So I get why people love him. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to get engulfed by some of these guys. But he was the Rams fans loved him last year, and the Eagles fans are going to love him this year. because he's so athletic. He's so unique. But I just think the size is too big of a limitation.
Our Rams writer, he was actually texting me this the other day because he was catching it on like what we're writing about Lampkin. And he says most red piece in camp, did the Rams make a mistake getting rid of this guy? And he goes, it's Willie Lampkin.
Yeah, I know. People love him. People love it. Love the story just because of how unique he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so if you're asking me the question if he's ever going to be relevant to the Eagles, I don't think so.
Might make the team, but
yeah, I mean, Jake Majors has not been great over the past couple of days. You can see his limitations in one-on-ones. He's just not athletic enough. So they have some problems after Drew Kendall inside.
Yeah, at least they figured out.
You know who they're going to default to? Micah Morris. Because he's got upside.
Yep. I think that's who I would default to.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen inside. When it comes to, but that's another thing I said. I don't know if you were listening to the start of the show, but that my biggest advice for fans, all reps are not created equal.
Correct.
So when Willie Lampkin does well against third teamers, it doesn't necessarily translate. And I think that's what people have a hard time.
Yeah.
They see, hey, that was a good play in an NFL game on an NFL field. And it doesn't necessarily translate.
You're not thinking, oh, this guy's going to go up against Aaron Donald on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, that's how like when Ty Robinson has a good player too. I'm like, okay.
Ty's been a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm back in the camp that they're not going to cut Ty.
I don't think they are either. I'm going to have him as a cut candidate, but I don't. It's funny. My cut candidates, I don't think are going to get cut, but.
Yeah, I mean it's not 100%, but I'd be shocked if they gave up on him this quickly.
John, who would have won the big Fred Morrow Jomo fight if they wouldn't break him up? Who would have won?
I think Morrow would have won because he's got the leverage.
Your description of it was awesome. I was like just picturing it, like how Morrow just decided, yeah, I'm going through these people.
Well, it was like a WWE pull apart. Like everybody was playing their role, and all of a sudden Morrow gets loose and just like a missile at Pred's legs. It was entertaining, but it's funny.
Jason Kelce and Zaire Franklin got into it a couple years ago. That was fun.
Well, Jason's a hothead, man.
Yeah.
I remember Jason beating up one of the trash cans they put the footballs in.
He told me about, I asked about it after he retired. I said, remember when you got into the fight with Zaire Franklin? He goes, yeah, I was like a murder hornet. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
he loved talking about it.
He's got a temper, man. Jason Kelce. He's got a temper.
Scout team, Jason Kelce.
Zaire, Philly native, by the way, in Philadelphia.
Temple guy.
Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah, that was probably the best one until this one. I've seen better fights in the old days when they had like.
Yeah, I've seen some good ones in the old days. Yeah.
But in the new era of football, this is probably as nasty as it's ever gotten, I would say.
Hugh
and by the way, it was the coaching staff's fault, man. They did it on purpose. You know,
they let them go. They let them go.
Yeah. They should have gotten one or both off the field.
You have to know, you have to know sometimes. You just have to know, like, no, this isn't going to work. Like, I had to do it at a couple practices last year in basketball. Guys were getting heated. I say, guys, go. Seriously. Like, prevent this from getting worse.
And they lined up right against each other. We all saw it coming. We were like, oh.
I would have been like, yeah, let's throw down. Let's go.
And sure enough, man, Big Fred pancaked him. put all his body weight on
Big
him.
Fred don't take any shit in here. That's Moro Jomo. How'd you think it was going to go?
Well, Moro thought he was going after his neck, and then he went after his knees. Yeah, it was ugly. I don't think those two are going to be friends anytime soon. But
they have lockers near each other.
Yeah, they are. They do. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that is going to be
It'll be brought up. It'll be brought up. Boy, could you imagine those two fighting in the locker room? That would not go well.
Oh, that would be gorgeous for you guys.
Well, unless you get in the way. Not in a lot of room in there.
No, there isn't. They need more room. They need more room. They definitely need more room.
So, anyway, yeah, big fight. Hopefully, I don't think there'll be any residuals, but we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Bad for Fred. Moro's a big part of this team. Fred is getting pushed by Markel Bell. He's another guy. I'm interested to see Markel Bell. I want to see the running backs too, because you can't judge the running game. The running games look good. Saquon's look great. Boy, Saquon, they were on the first field, and I was right on the sidelines of the first field. So the moment you walk in to, for those who've been there, the Jefferson Health Training Complex, the first field closest to Patterson Avenue, and that's where you get your best view. And they ran a sweep to the left, so it was coming right at me. And there's no angle for Saquon Barkley to get the corner, and he got the corner. He got it. So he's still got a lot of juice.
From what I'm being told, he's had a really, really good camp.
Yeah, he's been, but you still can't tell with the running game because guys aren't tackling.
Yeah.
And this goes for Tank Bigsby and Will Shipley as well. Because this whole offense is built around the running game. They have to be successful in the running game.
I know you wrote about him, John. Carson Steele's going to get a lot of reps on Saturday, isn't he?
I would think so. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think they want a fullback type of player. It could be Cam Latu. I still would lean Cam Latu because he's more versatile. Or Carson Steele, but they want to play some 21. That's the whole thing with this offense, different personnel groupings. So they want to play 11, 12, 13, 21. And play as many different personnel groupings as they can play and try to dress up the same thing differently with different formations. So I think you're going to see the fullback, but I would still lean Latu more than Carson Steele, but yeah, he's interesting. He can run it a little bit well. He
was a nice player in Kansas City with how Andy Reid used him.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, to see how they use the personnel groupings. A lot of 12. I don't think they have the tight ends to play 13. I just don't. They're not good enough.
Yeah. Like Eli Stowers isn't ready, and Johnny Munt's not that guy.
No. And then I worry about some duplicate. Like I think you're going to see a lot of repeats, a lot of duplication as games go on. Like it might look really good in the scripted period early, and then you keep going back to it. Again, same field, Johnny Munt. They're in the red zone. They spread out. Johnny Munt is the farthest receiver, so the X receiver up on the line of scrimmage. And I'm yelling out quarterback draw, and it's a quarterback draw. Now, I say that because if I can do it, I think other people are going to be able to figure that out at some point. That's a concern. You got the wide receiver screens. I think there's going to be a lot of duplication. So we'll see. That's something to look for. But overall, I think it's the Packers offense. They're running the Packers offense.
By the way, that story that you wrote about, I just published at 9:00. So
there we go.
That's a very intriguing read. Go on Eagles on that side. It's a very intriguing read.
Good stuff. Jeff, what do you make of Jalen's camp so far? Jalen Hurts.
I mean, from what John's reported, from what I've read, seems like he's been fine, right? It's nothing.
Are you intrigued by what they're asking him to do differently?
I like how they're asking him to throw across the middle. And from what all accounts are, it seems like he's doing that well. So, I mean, I think Darius Cooper catching everything that's pretty much thrown to him. And, before I came on, John's right. Like, he was the guy at Tarleton State. Like, that's the guy. Yeah, that was the guy on CBS Sports Network that stood out when you're watching those types of games. It was him. It was there was like maybe 2 NFL players on the field, and he's one of the 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was second in an entire Division I in receiving yards in his senior season. So obviously you have the 2 different. It's not FBS and FCS, but he's at the lower level.
We would talk about college last year a lot. No one would go to his locker. So I go talk to him, and he would always say his college quarterback should have gotten more of a shot.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, hey, look, I say the one thing about wide receivers, they're at the mercy of the guy getting them the football, no matter how good you are. You saw that with Justin Jefferson last year.
Yep.
Which actually told you how good Justin Jefferson. He still got to 1,000, but
with JJ McCarthy being as bad as he was.
But compared to when he had high volume throwers, it's not even in the same ballpark.
So one of the NFL podcasts I listened to, and again, very, very entertaining conversation. It was about JJ McCarthy getting benched. Why did we give Josh Allen that leeway when he was terrible, his first year playing, and not JJ McCarthy? And I said, well, because Josh Allen had upside. I don't think there's any upside in JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't want to get bogged down into JJ because Zander knows.
That's your guy.
He can't play. I said it early in the process. And I hate to be that impatient because you do need to show some patience with the young quarterback.
But aren't you better off admitting your mistake?
Exactly. But to your point about Josh Allen has incredible physical gifts. JJ does not. That's the difference.
I remember when he got drafted, they're like, oh, he's plug and play. You can put him in right away. He's going to succeed. I'm like, are we sure about that?
How do you don't that Michigan didn't let him throw the football on the way to a national championship?
Jim Harbaugh said, we're taking the football out of your hands.
How many times you're a Penn State guy? How many times did they run a trade against Penn State? It's like 21, 22 straight times.
JJ McCarthy did not throw the football from the 7:32 mark in the second quarter to the rest of the game. And I remember yelling in the third quarter, I'm like, guys, he's not even throwing. Just stack the box. What are we doing here?
How does that guy become a number 1 pick in the end? That is a pox on the entire NFL. And by the way, I'm not picking on Quincy, who I like. I know personally. He's a good dude. But that's going to get you fired. It got him fired.
It got him fired.
But if Minnesota didn't take him, somebody else would have taken him very quickly.
He would have been in the first round. Yeah.
That was a black mark on the entire scouting process for everybody in the league. How does sometimes paralysis by overanalysis, sometimes if your college coach does not trust you to throw the football, you should not be a first-round pick in the NFL.
And meanwhile, people are criticizing Bo Nix being a first-round pick. Look at all the schools he's been to. Look at this, look at that. I'm like, Bo Nix has been successful in multiple offenses.
Yeah.
Like, Sean Payton drafted that. When Sean Payton drafted, I'm like, okay, if Sean Payton sees something, probably a good sign.
Yeah.
Enough
but
to
you
get
did.
him
You got me in a JJ tangent.
Yeah.
And by the way, watch how and not that Kyler Murray is tremendous physical gifts. I don't know where he is physically. But watch that offense with Kyler Murray.
I think it's going to be better.
Oh, it's going to be significantly better. Significantly.
Kyler Murray is not that far removed from.
No, he's MVP candidate.
Yeah. Like he was a guy when you ranked your top 10 quarterbacks. He was in it.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't a doubt.
They had the one year where they started off like
the 7-0 year.
Was it 7-0?
Yeah.
Where he was like Baker last year. Baker was the 6-week MVP. Kyler was the 7-week MVP that year. And he's had a lot of injuries since then. Obviously, he's got the size limitations.
His franchise failed him too.
But he's incredibly gifted. So that'll be an interesting.
One thing I liked about Kyler Murray over the last couple of years, of everything that's going on around him, and he take it on the chin. He was just like, whatever, I gotta be better. Blame it on himself.
Well, you got to do that as a quarterback as well.
Yeah, he just took it on the chin. Say, hey, no, I could have made that pass. I could have, I could have got rid of the ball quicker. I could have processed that throw, that the defense better. Like, it was weird. It was. I'm like, man, he's got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, now he's got Jefferson, Addison, and Jawan Jennings. So and T.J. Hawkinson. So no.
Jawan Jennings is one of the underrated signings of the offseason.
Oh yeah, that might be the best receiver trio in football on paper.
Yeah. But didn't you hear the Eagles receivers are better? Didn't you hear about that? I started laughing when I saw that tweet went viral, that they are better at receiver this year than last year. I'm like, man, I'd love to know what you're smoking, dude.
Training camp.
Avian Wicks is not better than Devonta Smith.
Nick Sirianni, what did you take? Did you hear Nick talking about? They never sent the transcript, by the way.
No, they never did. I listened to it yesterday. Yeah.
Did you hear it when he got asked right away about Darius Cooper?
Yeah.
He kind of threw
BLG
some water
ask
on
him
it.
that?
Yeah. BLG's the chief leader of the.
Oh yeah, he loves Darius Cooper.
He loves Darius Cooper. Nick kind of downplayed it. Said basically that he's got to finish. It's only August, whatever it was, 13th.
August, 13th. Yeah.
It's like it's early, and he's right. I mean, people.
He is right. It's early, but BLG's been absolutely right. Like, it's hard to write a bad thing about Darius Cooper right now.
No, he's performed well, but as I point to everybody, he's not going to get the opportunity. I'm sorry. The NFL is not a meritocracy. It is not. They say it is, but it is not. Well, Devontae Smith is obviously better. He's your number one. Dontavian Wicks has also had a strong camp. He's your number 2. Mekhi Lemon is number 3 because he was a first-round pick. Right now, Hollywood Brown is number 4 because you paid him $5 million. And then it starts at 5. And honestly, Elijah Moore, maybe you could say either one. You can make an argument. Elijah Moore, Darius Cooper, 5, 6, or vice versa. I guess then Johnny Wilson would be 7.
Would Quez be 8?
Quez has had a good that Iku Kanma. He's had a good game.
I'll tell you what, I love to watch him in the. I always like to tell people I don't watch football in the spring. Nah, I lied. I watch football in the spring. Eric Ikukama could play. He could play at Texas Tech.
Yeah, he's the best of the bottom level receivers. Quez has been surprisingly good as well.
Have they had Eric return kicks? Because he was really good returning kicks. In the
they have not. They have.
I'm surprised by that.
They're trying to get Darius involved with returning kicks. It's mainly been Will.
Yeah, they're trying to find a role for him.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Brandon Hayes has gotten a lot of reps as punt returner.
He returned kicks a lot in school.
Yeah, and kickoff returner, but he's not going to make the team. No. And they've gotten Quez involved.
I feel like Quez is going to be back on the practice squad.
Yeah, man, Quez won't die. Yeah.
I mean, like, everybody's like, Quez this, Quez that. I'm like, Quez Watkins was a day 3 draft pick in 2020 and is still around.
Fifth rounder, I think, right? Fifth
Yeah,
rounder?
exactly.
Oh no, he was a sixth round.
Six, wasn't he?
Sixth. John Hightower was the fifth rounder.
I would tell Quez Watkins to his face, dude, you've had a successful career. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise.
Oh God, yeah. I've been pounding that bell for years. If you're a 6th-round pick and you're still in the league, yeah, your career.
Darius Cooper has had a successful career. Undrafted free agent to a 53-man roster. They stuck around the whole year, and he'll probably do it again.
Cordero Patterson, Jody and I had a knockdown argument, drag down argument one day about Cordero Patterson, who is maybe the best kickoff returner that ever lived.
Well, if you look at the numbers, he is the best kickoff returner.
And I mean, he is. You remember the Chip Kelly game where they wouldn't even kick to him, and they won a game.
They were so afraid to kick to him.
Yeah, he is the best kick returner I've ever seen in my life. And I'm getting too old. He also was. He didn't have a position. The NFL took way too long to switch him to running back. That should have been his position.
He was pretty good at that, by the way.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He's a pretty good receiver, but he was a manufactured guy. If you got him the ball in space, it was outrageous. But you know, and by the way, he was like the 29th or 30th pick, so it was bottom of the 1st round. And so he does all this. If they ever let it's such an interesting conversation because if they ever put in another kick returner, they did put in Devin Hester. It might be him.
I think it might be. I think you're right.
So you're talking about a potential Hall of Fame player who's not a success as a 1st-round pick because he didn't turn into a good receiver.
You know, the guy I always like to start arguments with when people tell me Laquan Treadwell's a bust. I'm like, is he? He's still in the league. He's still around. Yeah, look him up.
Yeah. By the way, here's Cordero Patterson. 310 receptions. 2,875 receiving yards. 2,646 rushing yards.
That's a career, man.
48 total touchdowns. How could that guy be a bust?
He's not. 8 kick return touchdowns. That's the most in NFL history. 8. He was the guy that if you had a Vikings game or whatever team he was on, Falcons, Steelers, you made sure you saw the kickoff.
Yeah, and then they changed it. By the way, if they didn't change the kickoff rules midway through his career, oh my God. I think he would have had more than 10.
Yeah. You know what? It was funny. When they changed the rules, I was at the owners' meetings, and that was my question. Are we doing this to stop the Cordero Pattersons of the world? And John was like, no, that's not it. And I'm like, oh, you weren't expecting that.
So that
we're here to make the game safer.
Sometimes people's logic mystifies me. I'm like, it shouldn't be based on your own internal expectations. Like if a guy gets picked and lasts for a decade plus and generates all that offense, how could you possibly? And by the way, 7-time All-Pro, 7 times All-Pro, made the 2010 All-Decade team, and people are calling him a bust. I looked at Jody like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing here? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. He's on the Eagles right now. It's going to be hard for me, and I've done this, to keep JT Gray off a 53-man roster. The guy's a 3-time All-Pro special teamer.
I agree.
Like, how do you keep that guy off?
Can you keep 2 gunners, though? Just for gunning, just to be gunners.
Can Mac McWilliams beat out Kelee Ringo?
As a cornerback, yes. As a special teams player, no.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Can you keep 2 gunners? And Kelee Ringo's a really good gunner.
Yep. You by far, if you keep Kelee Ringo and JT Gray, you have the best punt coverage in the NFL.
And they might want that.
I know Michael Clay wants it.
Yeah, I was Michael Clay. I wanted to be like, hey, give me all.
Can he lobby Howie Roseman? Can he lobby Howie Roseman?
This is how I would look at it. All right, so who's seeing the field all the time? Reek Woolen, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jonathan Jones is going to play a lot.
Well, here's the thing. If you keep
Michael Carter's going to play.
Yeah. So McMullen is going to be inactive every week.
Yep.
Or you'd rather have the guy who's going to play every week.
And JT Gray's going to play.
Yeah.
Let's play this game now, John. Who would be the inactives on game day if we just had a hypothetical 53?
Well, again, that's the conversation Howie's got to have with himself. He's like, if you're keeping Mac and you're keeping maybe an extra safety, so you're keeping, I don't know, if you like Max Pulley as an undrafted guy, you want to fluff up your resume and say, I found Max Pulley. GMs love keeping undrafted guys.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Keep one.
He always mentions Reed Blankenship. We found him.
They love it. They all love it, not just Howie. So there's some ego involved. But those guys are completely inactive all year unless there's significant injuries.
You know what I like to do?
And that's why Zander and I have this conversation about receivers. There's no way I'm keeping 6 receivers.
No, it's stupid.
Yeah.
You keep 5.
I don't, the 6 receivers never going to play. So
The
unless
5th receiver is barely going to play.
exactly, barring massive injuries. And that's what the practice squad is for. You keep 2 receivers on the practice squad.
Yeah, you keep. I mean, look, my last 53, I kept 11 offensive linemen. I'm like, I know these guys aren't going to play, but man, you can develop a lot of these guys, and you need inactives anyway.
Well, the Eagles got to keep the extra spot for Uar, who, by the way, is on Twitter. I just saw. Join Twitter.
Uar is
at
Twitter.
Uar Bernard 1.
All right. Here's.
Oh, wait, did someone cop the regular username? He had to add a number 1 on there.
Probably, or maybe he just wanted to add 1.
I don't know if it's official, but it might even be fake. But
here's a question for you, John. Of the IPP guys, is Joshua Weru better than Uar Bernard right now?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's another guy I kind of want to see on Saturday, just to see him.
Yeah, he played rugby. He's got more of a background with physicality, and like Uar doesn't have a clue what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Josh has at least got.
I was cracking up at my old employer, Mark, draft expert there. He wrote intriguing rookies he wants to watch Saturday and picked Uar Bernard. I said, dude, why would you want to watch him?
Well, you know,
I do. I get why. What do you mean why? It's
you know how that works.
Like that.
I mean, people are excited by the international.
Yeah, they are. I mean, look, John writes about Uar Bernard. It's going to click today. I guarantee he'll click today.
I'll write about him after the game. There's nothing to write about him right
there
now.
you go.
Except he loves Ritas, man. He loves Ritas. He's there every day.
He probably never had Ritas before this year.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. He loves it.
Does he get the tropical water ice? What's their special now? Isn't there? Don't they have like a specialty water ice right now?
Yeah, they got a green one. I forget. All I get is mango, so I never.
The green one's the best one.
No, mango.
Mango.
Oh, mango. You can't go wrong with mango.
You literally can't go wrong.
By the way, you know who else loves mango? Vic Fangio. There you go.
Yeah, of course he does.
And mango, I don't even look. It's like if they run out of mango, I walk right by. I don't want any of it.
Did someone really ask Vic Fangio?
I love it, John.
Did someone really ask Vic Fangio a Phillies question during his presser?
Yeah, sometimes. Usually it's. I don't know when they start the mics. Usually it's at the end. We get some Phillies questions. Vic loves Rob Thompson. Like he's bitter.
Oh, I know he does. He was
bitter.
telling me about that a couple months ago. We were talking about.
Yeah,
he asked me how Rob's doing. I said, fine.
Yeah, he loves Rob.
I love how he just pointed out that Rob Thompson made the playoffs with Harrison Bader and Taiwan Walker.
Yeah,
all these guys that are not in baseball anymore.
Yeah.
By the way.
He'll always, Vic, he'll always throw something in there. But he was not happy because he's close friends with Rob Thompson. So,
he is. Yeah, him and Rob are close.
he thought it was unfair. He's probably right. It was unfair.
No,
but that's
it's on the players.
But Vic knows that's the life of the coach. I mean, it's often unfair.
Well, Vic gets it, so I'm gonna side with Vic there.
Yeah, I disagree with it. I get along with Don Mattingly great. I get along with a lot of coaches, but look, I feel bad for Don because he probably shouldn't be in that position, and Rob Thompson should probably still be managing this baseball team. But it is what it is.
But more importantly, Vic's a mango guy, as he should be.
There's only one other one, John, I think can be refreshing at times. Doesn't sound like you'll agree. You're mango or bust, but lemon. I mean, come on.
Lemon is very refreshing.
I'll tell you what. I don't want to be anybody who gets blue raspberry. You look like a goop ball. It turns your whole mouth blue.
Man.
I don't like it turns my tongue, so I don't get it.
Yeah, it's goofy.
It's a good flavor, but no, I'm not getting that.
Maybe if you're out to eat with the grandkids or something.
Yeah, maybe.
When you get blue raspberry, guys, when you mix it with cherry, so you get the grape. That's if you want your tongue to turn a different color. That's what you do.
I just mango because they got a little board up, and generally I don't go until after practice. So half of the time they're out by that point. But if the board doesn't have mango on it, I just walk right by.
So you're not like when I was there, Ed Martin and we would go in the middle of practice.
No, because I watch special teams. Everybody goes towards this is why everybody knows Rocco Underwood's struggling. Because I'm the goofball.
Because it's you.
Yeah.
That's why I said, we got McMullen. He'll watch it.
This is I'm watching every Rocco Underwood.
I'm telling you, I have people.
This is what I do for the people. This is what I do for the people. Everybody else is getting water.
Went off the other day because I caught that John McMullen got the whole field goal unit, and I put that as the headline.
Yeah, I got like the third and the fourth team personal protectors. I got the wing.
He's got it all. That's how I said. I basically was gonna joke on Twitter. Don't even read the rest of it. Just read this part.
Yeah. By the way, I screwed up I got to change that. I screwed up. I went right to left. I was trying to do left to right. I went right to left on the second team offensive line. I
noticed that yesterday, John. I wanted to say something.
No, that was my mistake.
Ed drove me nuts the other day. He spelled Joshua Werber was wrong the whole time. No. I had to fix it.
Yeah, I got to change that. I don't know.
I felt bad. I was like, I didn't even want to say it. I'm like, Ed, it's WERU, not WEHRU.
Sometimes spell check's not your friend, especially with iPhones.
That's how I think it was. I honestly think it was that.
Especially with iPhones. I put the other day, it changed. I was trying to put Mackay Lemon is on the Jugs machine, and it changed it to Higgs.
Yeah,
what the fuck is what are you doing?
It did that in Voltex too, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he means Jugs. I'm pretty sure he means.
It changed it to Higgs. Come on, iPhone.
I'm telling you, these phones are more advanced, but they're worse for you.
Oh, but you can barely see them. The sun's out. You can barely see the screen.
I'm really getting tired of, everything is negative in observations. I'm like, no, they're not. Not even close.
There are a lot of positive.
A lot of people like yours.
A lot of. I would say more of it's positive than negative, but there's negative. I mean, Hollywood Brown's probably not happy with me. Rocco's probably not happy with me.
I would, yeah. Well, then play better.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. We appreciate it. We're a little over time here. We appreciate you doing it today, man. I've been reading all your work on SI, so we appreciate you joining on a Football Friday on short notice. We'll catch up with you again soon, Jeff. I think there's no Monday morning show again because we got to practice.
Yeah, John. When's practice next week? Did they send anything?
It's weird. It's not official. No, the schedule's not out. We got a tentative schedule way back before
everything became official.
And it was weird because this Monday they had 12:20 practice, which is the only practice that didn't start in the morning.
Well, is training camp over?
No, not officially. But they're going to New England.
Are you going? I never got the confirmation of anybody's going.
I can't go because I don't have anyone to take care of Tank, so that's a bad job by me. But I can't not Tank Bigsby, my Tank.
I'm coaching football this year, so I can't.
Not at Boyertown?
Pope John Paul, believe it or not. My old
sweet.
coach, my old high school coaches are there. They're like, "You want to come?" Yeah, you recruited me once to play for you.
And you know what? I really want to go because I want to see AJ, and I want to at least one day.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to go. I'm pretty sure.
I'm still trying to go Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to. I'll drive up and drive back if I can swing something, but it's not looking great.
That's why I was considering it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not an influencer. I'm not a content creator, and I don't work for one of the legacy outlets. So, you know, John knows where I'm going with this.
I don't know what I am, but luckily,
well, you're on the list.
For now, we'll see how long that lasts. But,
all right, Jeff, we appreciate it, man. We'll catch up with you soon. All right, brother.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All
right, see you, man.
Kerr joining us right here on Bird 365. Good show there. Johnny Mac, little overtime. One super chat to read here this morning. Here is Joshua Jackson. What's up, Joshua? Thanks for the super chat, man. He says this. If the Eagles lose in the championship game, but Hurts keeps winning only by making plays when you need him, but nothing flashy, do they still keep him? I would say,
man, that's a good question. That is a very good question. I mean, I think if you make the championship game, I think you almost have to keep him. But boy, it's not as easy as a result as you think.
I'm not a big fan, though, of John of the thought process that, like, you can just replace somebody and get the same results. That's why I always push back on people.
No, I'm with you. It's very unlikely.
Nick doesn't do anything. I'm like, all right, so you think if you had a different coach, you would just automatically get the same result because of the rock? I'm not of that belief, and that's kind of how I feel about Jalen too.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The next quarterback, you're going to have some issues. You have to commit to rebuilding a little bit. In theory, they're not going to bring in a veteran, so it's going to be a young guy, and there's going to be some growing pains. But you're betting on the upside long term. If they go that far, even if it's another shaky season from a statistic standpoint, I still think they have to move forward. They'll just try to move forward with a lesser contract in terms of years, probably, guarantees. They'll try to keep it to 2-3 years versus, monster 5-year commitment or something like that. That's how I think they'll try to piecemeal it. But yeah, I mean, be careful what you wish for, because I'm with you. It's not going to be easy. It's hard to find quarterbacks. And I'm not talking about Josh Allen, the big four, that group. I'm talking about good starting quarterbacks. It's hard to find those guys. Never mind elite. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I think Jalen's going to be here. And I'm of the belief that he's going to figure it out. But I said this, John, real quick before I let you go. I was talking to one of my uncles. My uncle is one of those, he has an Eagles tailgate truck. He's been doing the tailgates for literally 20 years. They go down there. He's got the whole painted bus and everything. And I was talking to him. He's been a fan. I don't know. He's, he's almost 60 now. So he's been a fan for his whole life. And he said to me one time, he's like, you know what, dude? I really don't give a shit what looks good or not good about Jalen Hurts' game. I don't care that he doesn't have the best arm. I don't care that he doesn't pass for a lot of yards. We win more now than we've ever won in my life. And I love watching us win. And I'm like, look, if that's your take, I have no. It's hard to argue with that, John. It's hard to argue with that.
Well, no, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah,
but there's a lot that's everybody's different. There's a lot of people not like that.
Yeah, they prefer to watch great. Like the guy, I appreciate people who are honest. Like the guy you said, the Mike Gill guy who you bring up, who was like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch an elite quarterback." All right, that's fine. It's a different
I mean, I'm more towards your uncle. I'm like, if I'm a fan, I just want to see my team win. I don't care what it looks like. And I'm still that way with the Yankees. That's really my fandom is down to one team, and they stink right now, and it sucks. They can't score. I don't care how they win. I just want them to win. I don't understand fans that worry about other stuff, to be honest. To me, fandom should be pretty simple: win or lose. Now, I get, I'm not saying you can't debate. As we talked about when they got off to these great starts, well, can you sustain this? And you have all those conversations, and they're real. AJ was right. Can't sustain it. And they changed. So they highlighted that AJ was right, or they're trying to change. But
did you see Drake May's comment yesterday? Oh, man, that was funny.
no, what'd he say?
Drake May's got asked. Let me pull it up. I think I got the quote saved. Drake May got asked how to keep all the wide receivers happy, and he says this, John: winning. Nobody really tries to complain when you win games. I think nobody's really that prideful in this sport about personal stats when you're winning games. I said, Drake, you got a lot to learn, man. You got a lot to learn.
I think that's proper. I mean,
it's proper, but it's a world that doesn't exist, John. These are individual athletes that care about personal accolades and things like that. Drake, I think, is a lot.
Well, I think most people are smart enough to shut up when you're winning. Most people, obviously. And AJ kept it under control for the most part during 2024. He was just as unhappy.
Well, he is the fourth. He is in the last 4 years, John. The Eagles have the best win percentage of any team in all of football. All right, so the box is checked there. And AJ was only behind Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb for statistical output for receivers in the NFL in the last 4 years. No, I get it. It tapered off in 24 and 25. But still, like the big picture, it's like, AJ, I can almost guarantee you're not going to replicate the success that you had with Jalen Hurts. Whether you like him or not, I don't really care. You're not going to do that in the next 4 years.
Superstars are generally different breeds of people. Like they're fueled by different things. Like I think fans try to put that, well, you should think like me thing on athletes.
That's fair. That's fair. They're gonna,
they don't think that way. They're generally very process driven people. Like, the whole Super Bowl thing. Like he's not satiated by the Super Bowl. Because he's a very process driven person. So he's like, this isn't working for us because this is not the way it should be going. So it's almost a tough mental block. You see what Jordan, most notably Michael Jordan, is like. He's a miserable guy. He's almost miserable when things don't go right. It's just it's a different mindset. And I'm not saying legacy and Hall of Fame and all that stuff. Certainly something to do with it as well. Everybody wants to be, recognized to be one of the best if you're at that level. But yeah, I just don't think, and I just don't think the average person can wrap their head around like the process driven thing. Because when I would first hear about, and this is going back many years, now it disgusts me when somebody asked about, hey, Dallas in week 7 when you're in week 2. I'm like, dude, just shut up. I'm like, look at them staring down. I don't want to be that dick, but like because I was there when I first started out, like, oh yeah, you don't think about it. They really don't. They really don't. And it took me many years to say, well, that's bullshit. They're just, that's something you say. That it really isn't.
Yeah, right.
Like people talk, are you preparing for the Super Bowl? Nick will say, what, preparing for fucking get better tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Because by doing that day in and day out, that's how you give yourself the best chance to get there. You don't think about the big picture.
And I literally, when I first started doing this, I thought that was a bunch of bullshit. And it's not. It is the exact opposite. It is the exact opposite. And that's really how they approach things. And it's not bullshit. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And I think most average people will never figure that out because they're not around it. And it's not how human nature is. We're always thinking about down the road, what's going to happen. And it's like, well, you better take care of what's right in front of you before you get down the road. Because whatever you whatever goal you have isn't going to be there if you're not taking care of what you're doing today.
That applies to more than just football and the NFL, my friend. There's no doubt about that. All right, John, we're way over time here, man. Your final thoughts on this Football Friday big game tomorrow, preseason game number 1. I know you're jacked up, John.
Yeah, very jacked up. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And it is important. I don't want to downplay it. It is important for a lot of the younger players, a lot of the bubble players. But I don't think, like I said, if you want to see the starters, maybe you got a couple on defense. But again, get your beverage, get your favorite snack, be in your chair on time, unless you're going to have to rewind the DVR because it's going to be quick.
No doubt. All right, John, great stuff, man. I will catch up with you tomorrow. We'll do a little segments for the preseason game, and then we'll catch up again on Monday. John, thank you, brother.
All right, see you, man.
All right, later, John. There's Johnny Mac, John McMullen joining us right here on Birds 365. Good Football Friday edition. Preseason game tomorrow. 11 days done of training camp for the Philadelphia Eagles. Some good conversation there about Jalen Hurts. I see all of you guys. Always brings up a good debate in the chat. All right, I don't know who muted out those two, but I'm not a big mute guy. I never mute people. I always like to let you guys go back and forth. Man, 2 of you guys in this chat today were pissing me off. You guys fighting about nothing for 2 hours. 2 hours. How do you have 2 hours to fight someone in a YouTube chat about nothing? What is going on in your life? 2 hours? It's like, all right, man, I'm about to put a time limit on the chat spats. If you're over an hour, you're getting timed out. I mean, holy crap. Holy moly. Unbelievable. But I digress. I thought it was a good discussion, though, today, And I'm excited to see who plays kind of tomorrow on this preseason game. I want to see Darius Cooper out there, man. Like, is this guy, is he a practice player? Is he a good one? I mean, is it all fake? Is it real? Let's see. What do they do with backup quarterback? Is Tanner McKee out there? Is Andy Dalton out there? I don't know. So I think we'll see what's going on out there. All right. Underdog, what's up, brother? Zander, you went out sad today. Pump, I've never gone out sad a day in my life. Pump. All right? I'm alive and breathing, my friend. I'm alive and breathing. All right? It could be worse. Hollywood. Was it Hollywood? Is that who that was? I didn't look at who was who. It was a fake one and fake 2. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to read some Eagles comments from the great people of JAKIB Nation. I'm not trying to look at you bicker at each other about your manhood and all this crap. Ian East, what up, Ian? Everyone wants to see Darius Cooper. It's nuts to me that where you get drafted or not has such weight. Can you play or not? He can play. Play him if it benefits the team. Yeah, well, Ian, there's a sense of ego and all these other things that take place. If you didn't get drafted, the NFL kind of believes, how could we have missed on you? We have, hundreds of scouts for every different team. Nobody would miss you. It's kind of like that. It's almost like they don't want to admit that they missed, Devontae Smith, 2K. I don't know about that. Then he was doxing him. Yeah, I'm not a fan. That's twist. Come on. Nobody should be doing that. Is Mannion Did mine get blocked out? I don't think it was mine, was it? Zander, you need a night show or another midday show. Sig, I'm streamed out, dude. I'm on air for fucking 4 hours, 5 hours a day. 6 if I'm producing with Cilia. Underdog, this is sick. Z, I work over at Widener now. Yo, Underdog, crazy story. Actually, for the football team, we used to do my dad used to do play-by-play for Widener football. Who was their old coach they had? And then they fired him. They fired him. Shoot, what was that guy's name? Was it Kelly? Mike Kelly. Yeah, my dad used to do play-by-play for Widener football during the Mike Kelly era. I think it was like 2014 through 2018. Yeah. So he used to do play-by-play for them. Now he does it for Eastern University. But he says this, I flung a few passes on break. Coaches told me I could come out and spin it for the receivers. Job said I can't. How bad does that suck? That's bullshit, Underdog. That's a load of BS. Zander, we do, Pump. Although you hated the Brian move. Now you're in? Come on, Pump. No, we do need a Sixer show. Sig Lord, I was joking yesterday. I'm ditching you fools. All right. Jerry, don't get it twisted. I work way longer than 6 hours. I'm talking about streaming on air. That's a different work. I sit in front of my computer all fucking day, dude. I've been working 12-hour days since I was 16. My boss at the Windrift in Avalon, I used to bar back and busboy down there. When I was 16, he called me into his office and said, you need to stop taking shifts. You're 16. I could get in trouble with the state for you working 70+ hours a week. I said, boss, I need the money. I need a hustle. Six hours on air, though, is a lot, dude. I'm back in. Let's go, Pump. Let's go, Pump. That's not what I'm saying, Race. That's not what I'm saying. What, do you want me to fucking roll camera and be on live all day? Race, don't speak about my work when you don't know your ass from a hole in the wall. All right? You goof. Hey, Jerry, don't kid with me, all right, Jerry? I'll take you to the woodshed. Nobody's safe around here. Z, can you comment on the idea that we would be a dynasty if it wasn't for her? Yeah, I disagree with Underdog on that. I agree with your point of like, what, replacing Hurts means you end up with a Hall of Famer? I mean, come on, Underdog. You know better than that. I know, Gary. It's never enough with these people. It's never enough. Prince, my eyes are going bad. I said yesterday, I'm hanging them up soon. Enjoy me while you got me. I'm hanging them up soon. All right? I'm taking up a service business, and I'm going out with my hands, and I'm working with my hands. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll find out. I don't know when it's going to be either. But one of these days, I'm retiring from fucking sitting in this office all day looking at this computer screen. I can't do it. I can't do it my whole life. I'm good right now. I'm 28. But Reyes is right. 30 is about to hit me like a ton of bricks. Yesterday I was at my brother's new house. I was playing with my niece, and they got a pool. And she loves watching. She's very nervous in the water, but she loves watching you go off the diving board. She makes these faces. I'm like, all right, let me jump off the diving board for her. I jump off the diving board for her onto this pool float, and I hit it wrong. And now I wake up this morning, I got this fucking pain in my neck. I couldn't move my neck last night in bed. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I thought of you, Reyes. I'm like, 30's hitting me like a ton of bricks. I can't be doing this stuff anymore. All right. I did. I got a stinger, dude. I got a stinger. Kimberly, my posture is normally actually pretty good when I'm not sitting here, but this desk, I slump. But you can see I got broad shoulders. I have broad shoulders, Kimberly. I always have. All right. Broad shoulders out here. Yeah, Prince, they're coming. Look, guys. We got a baby on the way. I know I kind of pseudo-announced it, but we got a baby on the way. We got a baby on the way. So the blessings are abundant. I thank the Lord every single day. That's why I don't complain about much, man. I got everything I want in life. I really don't need anything more. I don't need more money. I don't need more success. I don't need anything else. I got my wife. I got my family. I got a baby on the way, God willing. And nothing. It doesn't get much better, man. It doesn't get much better. You need more hair. No, I really don't, Pump. You can take it, bro. You want it? I don't need it. I promise I don't need it. Curtis, I think that's coming up. I think that's coming up. So we'll see. Yeah, Prince, I can't lie. It happened quick, man. All right. I think like day 3. All right. It happened quick. Place your bets, boy or girl. Abe, I was thinking girl, honestly, but I'm not sure. I have no clue. I'll be happy with it with anything. I really don't care. Either way. I have no preference. No preference for me. No preference for me. Abe says, Jimbo says you're gonna be a great father. Wishing you. Oh, thank you, Jimbo. I appreciate it, man. No, not day 3 of camp, Ian. I rolled into our new house. We got back from Italy. We got in here. Day 1, we were in here. Day 1, we were in here. We took the test. Day 1. I'm like, oh my gosh. We signed the lease. I was joking with my wife. I'm like, should we try and cancel the lease? Got to get a bigger place. I'm going to be kicked out of this office in 8 months. 7 months. Almost 6 months. What is she? Almost 10. Yeah. Still early, but, I'm excited. Got to be a boy first, little Z. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Sunday, Silver Star, thumbs up. Thanks for the jewels. Unfortunately, they don't pay me any cash. My next mindset would be, hey, that's been my mindset since I was 15, brother. All right. Yo, underdog. I think daughters are a lot harder to name. I got like 4 sons' names already. I could pick it out easy. It's the daughters I think that is tough to name. But I got some. Underdog. I got some good ones. I think you'll like them. Prince, that's what they say, but I don't know if that's true. All right, because I know some savages that didn't have that. All right. Autumn Rain, that's cool. Leave it to M. Rice to have some goofy ones. Yeah, nah, I think we'll have our name before. Look at mine. Always leave it to mine to always know. Mine, I'm self-employed, brother. So I don't have employer-sponsored health care. All right, mine. So my health insurance ain't cheap, my friend. Wait until you see that hospital bills. You'll be fighting for Medicare for all, just like me and no. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Mine, you're a funny guy. All right, you're a funny guy. I knew well, not 3 months. I mean, I just wanted to give my wife time to tell her family and stuff. No, I'm excited though, man. Oh, I've been telling you guys I wanted this for a while. I've been telling you guys this is what I want for a while. God willing, we'll keep going. God willing, it'll be the first, but it definitely won't be the last. Nah, Prince, not my wife. Not unless it's absolutely required. My wife's a savage. All right. Mr. Sparks, how's Andrew Makuba? I think he's looked really good. I've heard Makuba's had a great camp. Hey, joke's on you. Keith, you have to get JMac. You think if I get the 100K YouTube plaque, I'm giving it to JMac? Keith, I've been slaving on this computer for 6 years. No, not going to JMac. Underdog, it's going to have Krause on the back. My buddy, I'll put another man's name on my little child. Come on. Good times. Z becoming a father, married. The bird season is underway. It's going to be a great year. I'm with you, Jimbo. Kimberly says you're not allowed to bail on us. Yeah, well, Kimberly, one day I will. One day I'm going to hang up the cleats from talking on YouTube, and I'm telling you, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It might be as simple as I buy a truck and a power washer, and I start door knocking. I'm telling you now, I want to get outside, man. You should have seen me yesterday. My cousin called me to change her flat tire. And I was like, this is great. This is great. Crank the jack. Turn out the freaking lug nuts. Take the wheel off. I did it in 8 minutes. I was sad it was over. It really does, Reyes. It really does. It really does. Chasen, I got so many ideas, dude. I'm so good at the back end stuff. Like I look at some of these blue collar businesses like plumbing or even a general contracting business. I was talking to this dude who's an owner. This is where I get these ideas. And he's like, I want to sell this business soon. Like I'm 60. I want to retire. And the guy's revenue is $1 million a year. He's got one main contractor. He's got several subcontractors. He's got 400,000 of owner take-home profits. He's got no website. He's got no outreach. He's got no Google business. He's got no email campaign. He's got no marketing campaign, no Google ads, no meta ads. I'm like, dude, sell me your business. I'll turn the thing into a $5 million business. That's true, WCB, no doubt. No doubt. My passion is figuring out ways to work for myself. I love business. I love how to build businesses. I love the back end of businesses. I know, Chasen. I think about it all the time, dude. I think about it all the time. What do you mean, chill, Prince? Yeah, Jimbo. I'm about to manually do my brother's his in his garage. We're about to do the epoxy floor ourselves. I got to get the. I think you got to get like a I forget what's the name of the thing. You like grind the floor basically. You know, it's like sanding, but you're not sanding it, obviously. You know. That's a decent idea, Jimbo. What's it called? Let me find that thing. Yeah, it's a concrete diamond grinder, angle grinder. Prince, well, let's join forces. Yeah, Sig, I've seen that, dude. That's a great business. My mom's in this business group for where she works. And there's a dude in there. He started this like 2 years ago. Dude's got like a $1.5 million revenue in 2 years. Now he's getting big businesses with big dumpsters. It's genius business. Great business. There's so many good businesses out there. Sig, look into the new SBA programs they're releasing, brother. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, the grind. I think I'm going to rent one for my brother's floor. But I'm doing it myself. I love doing stuff. We love doing stuff ourselves. We bought this house. I'm like, I got to buy a house because I just want to work on it all day. So fun. Yeah, electrician's great business too. Mine, what do you think? Everything can come for free, mine? Come on, mine. You love the chirp capitalist, but you live in a capitalist society. And that's a pretty good society, my friend. Z, get to a point where I get it, Curtis. I'd like that. I prefer to take my talents on air, if you want to call them that. I don't know if you think I'm talented or not, but I do this for a living. And like use it as the marketing for like one of the businesses we just talked about. Like that to me would be a freaking boss. It's like instead of my content being the product, get a business, build out the marketing aspect, use my talents on air to be able to make that the marketing. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. This dude, that's why I was talking to this family guy wants to sell his business. I'm like, dude, I might need to buy your business. He's never taken a video. Never taken a video of his work. Guy's doing over $1 million of revenue. I'm like, I'm in the wrong line of work. I'm in the wrong line of work. Is it good looking? It's pretty good, mine. It's pretty good. Oh, Keith, wait till the games come. These people, my wall back there, this is a townhouse. That wall back there is connected to the neighbors. I'm going to be getting noise complaints. Cops are going to knock on my door and be like, dude, there's no party. I'm just working. I'm screaming at freaking Keith about Jalen Hurts. I'm screaming at Keith about Jalen Hurts. I promise. There's nothing going on here. There's no party. Ian, one day at a time, my friend. You know, that's what McMullen says. One day at a time. I agree with that, Thunder. I watched that fight. Errol Spence with Bud Crawford. Yeah. I like Errol Spence. I agree with you. Prince, I'm not sure what you do. The school. You have a school? I didn't know that. What do you mean in the club? I get such a kick out of this. People think I like grew up in this crazy like rich world. I got this funny ass email the other day from somebody, I guess, listening to our show. And they're like, you take daddy's money. I'm like, bro, I didn't come from a wealthy, like, I mean, granted, we have our health, we have a great family, we have all the things of life, but the city, like man, what club do you speak of? Millionaire life? I'm 28. I'm renting a place. Come on, man. I've been working since I was 16. I don't know what people talk. I don't know what people think. By the way, I don't care either. It's like, all right, good. You want to cry about the fact that I work with my dad? I don't give a shit. You guys are goofies. Yeah, Jerry, that might be true. I think this thing was built in. I don't know when this thing was built, honestly. Probably like the late 90s, maybe. Maybe later. I'm not sure. Let me look, actually, see if I can find out. I do like the place. I've grown out of it already. Baby's coming in March, folks. When was this thing built? Built in 92. Built in 1992. Prince, that's great stuff, dude. That's really cool. And Twiz, that's how I feel. People always crying. We're not upper middle class. I don't even mind. I don't even know what that is, dude. I don't sit here and look at what everybody else has or anything like that. PA, Jimbo. I'm not living in New Jersey. Pennsylvania. I actually like where I'm at now. I'd like to buy a house here. It's an expensive place, but I'd like to buy a house where I'm at now. I think we're going to find out, Kimberly. Nah, Abe, that would be long, I think. That would be long. Due dates middle of March. I apologize to Mannion. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, Go Birds. It's funny, other people say this, and then I look at myself, I'm like, man, what the fuck do I got? What am I doing wrong? What do I got to do differently? What do I got to do better? How do I make more? How do I do it? Man, I gripped there. Courage, good job, man. Keep working. Kimberly, that would be the only thing that keeps me. Super Chat's got to triple in the next year, folks. Nah, Joe, I want to be near my family, man. My brother's here now, so I love it. I love it. 7 minutes away, I've seen my brother 9 days in a row. So you're the greatest thing in the world. The Queen says, honestly, what do you think about an MVP Hurt season? I don't think that's necessary, to be honest. I don't think that's necessary. I think the team needs to play good as a collective. Offense needs to play good. Running game needs to be good. Jalen's got to fill in the blanks where we need him to fill in the blanks. I don't think we need him to be an MVP. I mean, shit, you'll always take an MVP caliber season, but I don't think it has to be like, oh, Jalen needs to have an MVP year or the Eagles are screwed. I don't think that. And J. Olds, don't work hard. Let the government take it. Yeah, come on. Set up a baby registry for us Zander fans. I would do that. You guys want to help me out? I'll do that. Mr. Sparks says, Zander, who are a few players your eyes will be locked on in the first preseason game? I think the receivers, whoever plays, because I think it's going to be more important than John thinks. John's like, it's the top and bust. Nobody else matters. I think it matters. Receivers, offensive line depth, because the offensive line was an issue last year in terms of health. Backup quarterbacks, I want to see who's playing. Edge depth, because I don't know how healthy Grenard will be all year. So how does Ebiketie and Epineza look if they're playing? I would assume they're playing. Safeties, I want to see what the safeties look like out there. And then corner depth to me actually feels a little weak. All right. Corner depth feels a little weak to me. No, I'm not going to Delaware. I'm staying in PA. I'm Pennsylvania, folks. Yeah, Delaware, it does have cheap taxes. All right, good guys. Good show today. Appreciate all you guys for the support as always. Exciting times. Exciting times. All right. Very exciting times. And the bird season starting up. Preseason game tomorrow. We'll have 2 to 6 tonight, National Football Show. Game coverage tomorrow. I'll probably do something before and then something after. Probably nothing too long after. I'll talk to Johnny Mack after. He's going to be down there. So we'll see. But I'm excited for the coverage. Appreciate all you guys as always. All right. Hit my line. Email me if you want to talk biz. All right. Appreciate it. Love all you guys. See you next time, everybody.